I have discussed the Google Stadia quite a few times now, and I usually wouldn't discuss something so much when it's obviously been an awful situation, which we will get into, but the Stadia was marketed in a very specific way. They called this the future of gaming, saying that it is going to be a revolutionary system that every gamer needed. You were able to play games wherever and whenever you wanted in true 4K, and a few months back, they were even asked about the prices of games, if they would be MSRP or not, and they had the audacity to answer by saying that they will be MSRP of $60, but they are worth so much more, and if they could charge more than $60, they would, because it's such an amazing system with being able to play one copy of a game on multiple devices and systems. So there were a lot of large claims leading up to this Stadia. They really went hard with the marketing on this. And now that it has launched, it really hasn't been going the way that I'm sure they wanted it to. So the launch itself was pretty mediocre. They announced it only a few days before that a lot of the promised features wouldn't be available for an undisclosed amount of time. They didn't even say when these important features would launch. They also said that there would be 12 games, which they did bump up to around 20, which was good, but just not enough. A few days after launch, we were given some rumored numbers on how it has actually sold so far, which brings me to the first article I will be looking at, which claims the Google Stadia's mobile app has only been downloaded 175,000 times, which if you do not know, you need the app to activate and to use your Stadia. So it says Google Stadia's mobile app has been downloaded 175,000 times, with the majority being generated by users in the United States. United States residents made up nearly 42% of the new game streaming service, equaling to 73,000 downloads. And this isn't good. You need this app to set up your Stadia. That is abysmal for a platform launch. They have put a lot of money into marketing for this new platform, and at best they've sold maybe 200,000 Stadia packages. And it is understandable why these numbers are so low. Google came out of nowhere with this platform. They are making you purchase games at full price, and you have to pay a monthly subscription fee to use features such as resolutions like 4K. That is outrageous to a lot of people. I do understand why people don't want to put their trust into this. And even if you do that, say with your Xbox or your PlayStation, where you have to purchase full-priced games and you pay for live services each month, you know that those platforms are here to stay. And the problem with Stadia is that if this fails, who knows if Google will upkeep it or if it will just disappear. You also have to consider that you can resell your games. If you do not like a game, you can resell the physical copy, and you can't do that with your Stadia. And to add to these abysmal numbers, people are having many problems already. You need a very good internet connection, which I've discussed previously. It is awful how good of an internet connection you need. Most average people don't even have close to those numbers. But you now also have to deal with their inadequate technology. People are now having problems with their Chromecast Ultras overheating because the Chromecast was never designed to run games in 4K for hours on end. And the worst part is that the Google Stadia team is saying that they are functioning as they are supposed to, and that if you have a problem, you are in a small percentage of people, and the problem isn't widespread, even though so many people are dealing with this issue now. Someone said on the Google Stadia Reddit, I was in the middle of a fight in Destiny 2 when my Chromecast died and lost connectivity to the network. I went to unplug it from the power and it was extremely hot. Has anyone else experienced overheating with the new Chromecast Ultras that come with the Founders Edition? I haven't seen any other posts about that, and this opened the floodgates because a community manager said, "Thanks for bringing this to our attention. We know any sort of heat on a device can be worrisome, but we can confirm there is no thermal overheating issue with Chromecast Ultras." This opened the floodgates because so many people are having these issues. Even SpawnWave put up a video explaining how to maybe resolve the issue and explaining why it was happening. But they are practically saying here that there is no issue, and if you are having an issue, well, it's just you being over worried. Your Chromecast should be fine. And then, of course, people were saying mine has overheated and shut off twice now. Yes, mine did it just a second time as well. This is a huge problem for any sort of MMOs or anything that requires long play sessions, especially if it's a game that does not have save points. You have to consider if you are playing an RPG that you only save periodically, that could be a huge problem. So as you can see, Google Stadia has been a train wreck so far, and I do not see any positives to the launch. I personally did not purchase one. I would eventually like to test it out, but I am not going to spend my money on this. I refuse to. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on one and I'll be able to test it for a couple of days, but if you purchase Stadia, let everyone know in the comments down below if you've enjoyed it or if you've had any problems with it. I do not think that Google is taking this problem seriously, and it could end up being a very large, widespread problem. And if you passed on it, why did you not purchase it? Why did you hold back on it? But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.